Hi everyone, Nigel Saunders here. Today I'm going to be working on my hibiscus bonsai. It's been exactly a month since I repotted this tree, defoliated it, and pruned it up. And now it's coming into leaf quite nicely. So today I'm going to be doing some tip pinching on the branches. Today I'm also going to prune up my Tiger Bark Ficus. I haven't pruned this since it came out for the winter. And my copper spoons, cannoli, it sounds like cannoli. So that's what I'm going to be working on today, 3 trees. Here is a look at my hibiscus. So it's leafing out quite nicely. And the leaves on this tree are always quite large. So you can see the new growth that's coming out, the leaves are fairly small on it. So what I want to do today is pinch the tips, some of the more vigorous tips, to kind of equalize the balance on the tree so it grows out more evenly rather than some branches just taking off and others being weaker. So that's what I'm going to be doing, a fairly minor operation to it. Here's a look at one of the growing tips, and you can see it has 3 leaves that have developed and a new one that's coming out of the tip. And if I let these branches grow, the leaves get larger and larger as the branch gets longer. And this tree has lots of vigor, it looks really healthy, so I'm going to pinch out the growing tips, trying to get more subdividing of the branches and try and keep the leaves smaller. Normally when you're developing a bonsai, you let the branches run until they've got quite a few leaves on them, and then you prune them back, and it keeps the tree really strong. This tree is really strong, and I want to miniaturize both the leaves and the branches, so I'm going to be tip pinching it, and that will stop the branches elongating. I'll get more tighter subdividing on the structure of the tree. It should help to miniaturize it, and my plan is maybe to show this in a fall show, so that's the reason I'm doing this. Otherwise I would just let these branches run, prune them back, let them run again, prune them back, and just keep repeating that process. But because I want to show it in a show this fall, I'm going to try and keep it very miniaturized this summer, which does zap the vigor out of the tree, so you have to be careful. You can't do this year after year. But for a show year, you can do this, zapping the vigor out of the tree and keeping it small and miniature. I'm going to begin the work now, and I'm going to use these really small, tiny scissors because it'll be quite precision work. So on this apex here, I have 2 leaves down lower, 2 upper ones, and a new one forming. So I want to prune that back. So I'm going to go right back to these first pair of leaves. So here I go, pruning the tip off. The branch out behind only has 2 leaves on it, so I can't prune that, I'll have to wait. And this is part of balancing the vigor so that all the branches grow out evenly. This next shoot has 2 leaves and another one forming, so I can prune this one back like that. These ones all look okay. This one over here, it has a leaf here, one here, so I can prune the tip off that one like that, leaving 2 leaves. This one I can prune the growing tip out the middle, leaving 2 leaves. There's one at the back here that's quite vigorous. I can prune the tip off that one. There's one here that's quite vigorous. I can prune the growing tip off that one. This one is quite vigorous. There's 2 leaves here, so I can prune the top off that branch. Around the back here, I can prune the tip off this one like that. My lower branch, it has some good growth on it, so I can prune the growing tip off that one like that. This other branch at the bottom, I can just prune the growing tip off that. And this one also, it's got 3 leaves. So I can prune the growing tip off. There's one here that is developing quite nicely. I'll prune the middle growing tip out of that. And I think that is it. The only other thing I can do to the tree is look at all the new growth. There's buds popping out on the branches and the trunk line. So I can select what I want to keep and which ones I want to remove. So I'm looking at the structure. I have a branch growing straight out the front here, and I have another one off to this side. So I don't need the one growing straight out the front, so I'll remove that. Like that. I'll keep this one. There's a branch growing on the underside of this branch. I don't think it hurts to grow that one. There's one coming off the trunk between these 2 branches. I don't want that one there. You'll just clutter that structure up. There's another one growing at the base of this trunk line or branch, so I'll take that bud off. There's one growing up kind of on the top of this branch. I don't want that one, so that comes off. There's one growing on the back of this branch. I don't think that would hurt to fill out the canopy a bit in this area. I'll keep it for now at least. There's a few branches growing at the tip here. I think they're all good. There's one growing from the underside of this branch I can prune away, like that. There's one growing on the top of this branch I can prune away. A couple here. I don't want branches growing in that area, so they come off. There's one kind of growing back towards the center of the tree here. I'll take that one off. This one is growing between 2 branches. I'll remove that one also. Like that. There's another one growing here. I've already got a branch in that area, so I'll take that bud off. Just prune that growth back. There's a lot of branches here, and this one's growing on the top. I'll keep the one on the bottom. So I'll take that one off. They're bar branches. I think that one's okay. This one, I don't think it hurts. So that might be it. I'm just having another look, rotating it around. I've got one at the base of this branch. I can take that one off. There's one growing from the, it's opposite this branch, growing from the bottom. I don't need that one. That can come off. This one growing up from this branch. Don't want that one. I've got kind of opposite branches growing here, so I'm going to take off this one on the inside. This one fans out nicely, but this one would just congest or make a lot of congestion in those branches. There's another tip I can prune back here that I missed. So there. And this tip pinching, as some of these other shoots develop, I'll have to pinch them back too. There's another one here. I can take the bud out the middle. And I think that's got it all pruned up. A very minor operation, but it's important to help keep the tree miniaturized. Here's a look at the hibiscus. So it's looking quite good. I sure like the pot with it. It matches the trunk color really nicely. Once I get some moss on here, you'll have the ivory pot, the green moss, the gray kind of trunk, and then the green canopy. So it should look quite nice. So here's what I took off today. just a few leaves and a few buds. Not very much. I'll rotate the tree around so you can see it from all angles. So here's the front, coming around to the right hand side, the back, the left hand side, and back to the front. So this tree hasn't changed a whole lot in the last 7 years. I was looking back at an older video, but it's matured. These upper branches have thickened up and gotten character and taper. Yeah, the tree's improved a lot, even though, visually it looks very similar to it did 7 years ago. But it's certainly improved in quality. I'll put the hibiscus back on the bench and I'll get out my Tiger Bark Ficus. Here's a look at the Tiger Bark Ficus. So I'll rotate it around so you can just see what it's looking like after its winter of discontent. So the branches are quite long at the moment because I just let it grow over the winter. And this is, another possible front for the tree. In this view, you can see the tree kind of leans towards you here. In the other view, it kind of goes away from you. It has more character in this view, but maybe, in future I can tilt the tree a bit more. Yeah, so that's a look at the tree. So let's get it pruned up. I'm going to start the pruning just by reducing all the branches back to some living foliage. So this branch I can take back to here, taking the tip off. This one, I can at least prune the tip off. I've got 2 branches there. This one, I don't know if I want to touch that one yet. This one, I can prune it back to here. This one, at least take the tip off. The top is getting quite tall. I'm going to take that back. Taking the top off. Oh, some branches out the back here I can reduce. A little bit of scale insect on it, so I'll have to descale it. There's a blister here I can remove, and I'll have to spray it with soap and water. The scale doesn't look too bad, but there is a little bit from the winter. This branch I can take back. I'll be doing a fairly hard pruning on this tree today. I'll just take the tip off here for now. Yeah, that's kind of got, this one could be taken back. This one too. That's got a lot of the longer branches pruned back, so now I need to go in and look at the styling of it. And I've got multiple branches going from one spot here, so I'll have to clean that up. Yeah, so next I'll do the structural pruning. Okay, here I go on the pruning. So there's a dead branch here I can remove. Did not survive the winter. Clean up a stub there. Now, I've got this lower branch, and I'm not sure if I want to keep that or not. Let's deal with this cluster of branches here. I've got 4 branches going from one spot. So I don't want the one coming straight out towards me, so I'll take that one off. Cut a little deeper there, like that. And I've got to decide which branches do I want to keep, the more horizontal ones or the more vertical ones. And that comes down to how you envision the styling for the tree. I think in this case, these are like totally vertical. So I'm going to take those off and keep the more horizontal ones. So that comes off. That comes off. And then I have 2 branches going from one spot here, so I have to pick which one I want. And I think because I have a branch growing back here that I want to keep the one growing more out front. It'll give it more depth. So I'm going to prune off this one that's more in line with the trunk. Like that. Keeping just the one branch. Now above that I have 2 branches, one directly above the other. So I have a choice out of these 2 branches here which one I want to keep. This one has more ramification closer to the trunk line and it's more developed, it's woodier. So I think I'll take out the lower one. That'll increase my staggering distance between these 2 branches also. So that one comes off. And then at the tip of this branch I have a dead branch that I can prune away. And then I have 3 branches coming from one spot here, so I'll take away the vertical one like that, keeping these 2 branches. And then I'm going to do a hard prune back on this. You can see it's getting very long and straight, and I have a bud here, so I'll take that off and I'll take this one off to here like that. I don't know if I need this branch back here. I'm not sure if I filmed pruning up these branches. There was 4 branches going from one spot here, so I picked the branch I like the best. I pruned these lower branches back short, doing a Hail Mary cut to reduce the length of them. They were getting very long and whippy looking. I did some branch selection up top and shortened these also quite hard. So I'm looking at this branch here now. This one's getting quite long and whippy, and I have buds here, so I'm going to prune it back to here. And this one, I have a nice shoot here that flows, and this one's kind of vertical, so I'm going to take it back a bit further, like that. This branch is getting quite long and straight. I have a branch coming out the back, but it's growing over top of this one, so that's not ideal. I have some vertical growth here I'm going to remove. And there's a big stub here and a branch going the wrong direction here, so I'm going to take that back. And maybe even further, I'm going to try and clean up that cut. Yeah, I think my camera overheated there. It's very hot in the greenhouse here. It's 40 degrees Celsius. Very, very warm. This branch, I'm looking for leaf scars. There's one here, there's one here, so I can at least take it off here. And I probably should go back further. I will. I have one here and one here. So now I'm looking up higher in the tree. I have 2 branches here. One is kind of going up straight and towards the back, and this one's kind of sweeping more horizontal. It's also going to the back. I think I'm going to take this one. I've got a shoot here that's quite nice, fanning out, so I'm going to take this one back. I could leave this branch too. Maybe I will for now, and see how it looks. So I'll take it off here, shortening that. My camera just turned off again. It's too hot, so I'm going to have to cool the camera down and then keep working on the tree once the camera's cooled. Okay, I'm back. The camera's cooled down. I have to turn the fans down low in the greenhouse here while I'm working, otherwise it's too loud. So I was working on pruning up the tree. Now, I think this apex is getting too tall. It's getting a little spindly. I want kind of even taper going up the tree. So I can definitely reduce the height of it. And I'll want, a branch coming forward as my apex. So I think I'm going to reduce the height back to here. Like that. And then I think everything's looking good except these two branches. I have to decide what I want to do there. I think because I have this branch coming up here, I don't need this one on an angle, so I'm going to take that one out. Like that. I think that looks a little better. And I probably don't even need this one because it's going over top of this lower branch. And I have two branches here in the apex. I could even reduce that down further. I could make this my leader. It's probably a little drastic. I think I will take this one off. Kind of simplifying that a bit. And then I'm going to take these leaders back. There's buds here, so I'll take it back to here. And this one I'll take back to here. And then this branch, I'm going to take it back. I've got a shoot here. I can take it back to at least here. And this one I have some buds here. I can take it back or even further. I'll go further to there. Quite a hard pruning. I think that's got it sorted out. I think each branch has light. There's no clusters of branches. I do have these two growing from the similar spot here. But I think I'll keep that for now. We'll see what develops and how it looks in the future. Yeah, I think that's it. I think the tree's pruned up. Here is a look at the tree now. And here is what I took off today, so quite a bit. But it has great growing conditions here in the greenhouse, so it should recover quite quickly. Yeah, I think it's going to be a fine looking tree in the future. I removed all the visible scale blisters off the tree, so I will spray it down with soap and water. I'll take it outside and do that, hold my breath so I'm not breathing in the soap, and rinse it off, and then we'll start on the next tree. Okay, here I go with the soap and water. I'm going to prune up my copper spoons plant next. The only reason I'm growing this as a bonsai is that I saw a nursery where they had one that had a trunk about this thick, and it was about a little taller than the bench here, but it looked really, really good. So that inspired me to grow my own. It won't be as large, but I'll try and miniaturize this plant and see what I can make of it. So here I go with the pruning. My objective with this pruning is just to prune the growing tips to get further subdividing, to get more branches and a bigger canopy that will eventually get more light going to the tree, and it'll grow it nice and strong. So here I go with the pruning. So I'm always looking for leaves that are fanning outwards. So this one I'll prune just above this leaf, like that. This one, these leaves aren't fanning outwards, but the next set is, so I'll prune it just above there. This one, these leaves are better up top. It's kind of fanning outwards nicely there, so I'll prune the top off there. And that is it. 3 branches, and hopefully it will divide. You can see this branch divided from 1 to 2. This one didn't. It just, I pruned it here and I just got 1 branch growing up. So we'll see what happens. It should generate another branch from this bud here, but we'll see in the future. I'll turn the fans back on in the greenhouse, cooling it down a bit, getting some air circulation, and then I'll have to water all my outdoor trees, and that usually takes a good hour. So that's what I'll be doing this afternoon. And that's all for today. I'm Nigel Saunders. Thanks for joining me in the Bonsai Zone.